shoulder piece when I was 18 years old, just to keep it legal. But it could have been like 17 and a half, you know what I mean? But 18, most likely, I think. My very first tattoo was just the shoulder piece here. It was legitimately just right here. It came to the back and then it just cut off right there. So it was just pretty much the shoulder section of this current tattoo. It was done in Pensacola, Florida by a tattoo artist. I haven't seen her in a long time or even heard from her. It was actually set up by my cousin Eki, who is the late Umaga. He wrestled for WWE as well. So he was the one that was getting hooked up with the tattoos, and he's the one that set it all up. And it was pretty good at first, for a first tattoo. It was a big one for a first tattoo, but it wasn't culturally sound, I guess you would say, as far as just making sure all the patterns were correct. It was aligned perfectly with our heritage and our customs. So thank God I met Mike Fatatoa, and he just completely redid. He added obviously far more and did the sleeve. Then he touched up the shoulder, and then he also added to the chest piece. He's so set into what he does, and he just has such a good rhythm, and he just has such good experience that you want him to stay within his wheelhouse. And color isn't something that he does often. He will do it, but I wasn't feeling it really. And to be honest, he gave me a little bit of a hard time for the turtle, just because it broke up the pattern and it was just a little bit different. But his wife actually paints these turtles, and they have them all over their shop. So you couldn't say no to Mama. He had to do her work. But this was just for my daughter Joelle. It just reminds me of her. I put it on the inside to keep her guarded. She's with me, but nobody else may know, so yeah, just a little small inside story of the big picture. As you can see, he does a very tight pattern. He doesn't go too big with his print and the actual size of it, but he's just money when it comes to knowing on which patterns to connect with others, and that's kind of just a huge part of the artistic value and just kind of just the rules and just the basis of our tattooing and the culture around it. We did the first chunk was here, and then we did the second half of the arm in back-to-back days. So our schedule, at the time we were going Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I flew in that Wednesday morning, went right to his shop, tattooed for 7 hours of the outside, went home, ate dinner with my family, went to sleep, woke up at like maybe 8 in the morning, back to his shop, 10 hours on the inside, and then a touch-up up here, and I was fried. My skin was just maxed out and done, and I was ready to cry. But we were competing the whole time. Mike does not stop. He only breaks when you want to take a break. So the whole time I was just, that's how stubborn I am, trying to outlast him. So that was Wednesday, Thursday, flew out that Friday morning, went to the live event, wrestled in a 6-man because we were still in the Shield at the time. Just lathered it up with a whole bunch of, I think at the time we were using the A&D, like the baby cream, yeah. So just greased my arm up, saran wrapped it, and then I wore Under Armour. Full long sleeve, all black Under Armour. Thank God for the Shield gimmick, because it fit. It just worked, and we wrestled Randy Orton, Sheamus, and John Cena that entire weekend, and we were we were either 2 weeks or 3 weeks out from WrestleMania at the time. I didn't want to go out and just have half the arm done, because I just wanted to get it done. The longer you leave it broken and not finished, the further you can get away from it. So I just knew I needed to get it done. It was important for me to get it done by WrestleMania, because I just really wanted this to become a part of my character, a part of my gear, essentially, and just kind of really just benefit the look. And honestly, from there, we always talk about in our business, our signature moves, our move set. For me, the Superman punch is critical. It's a huge part of the way I tell my fighting stories out there. for me, it was just about representing my people, representing my family. Every time that I get to step on the WWE platform, this is being represented. So, all the way to having the opportunity of Hobbs and Shaw, and really highlighting our culture. But, it was funny because we're on set and they're putting the tattoos on some of the guys, and we didn't have to do that for me. This was there, we were already good to go. So it's just, for me, it's a really great piece to represent our culture and our people. And just kind of tell that story of our family. It represents my family specifically because just about every man is tatted up with a sleeve, all the way to the chest pieces. So it's kind of almost like a rite of passage now for us. But I think why it's so important to have the small details correct is it's one thing to be seen from a very far, shot. It's another to see it on television. But when there's an elder within our culture, if there's, an elder within my family, my father, when he looks at it, he knows that is beautiful artwork. There's no, oh man, he needs a little more training, or yeah, he needs to, if he just keeps doing it and learning, Mike knows what he's doing. Samoan Mike knows what he's doing. And to be able to put your trust into somebody who's gonna completely, they're marking your body for the rest of your life, you have to have that trust in them. And yeah, I gave that trust to Mike, and he knocked it out of the park. Right in the inner elbow, that was terrible. I mean, I could feel it all the way through, different parts of my arm and upper body. Around the wrist bothered me a good bit. And then on the inside of the chest here, it was just humming. Like the elbow is very similar too, but when it's going off of a bone, it just vibrates like that whole region of your body. And it can just be, it's just weird. It's a weird sensation to feel. Tattoos can be very addicting, so you always want to complement what you have. So I've definitely thought of different things to complement, the current piece that I have. I don't have much room in the front unless I were to go onto like my abdomen, but I do have a lot of room on my back all the way up to my traps. So there could be something, that I do that runs down my spine, all down my lat line, all the way back up. So to be continued, for sure.